The sun rises over Windsor Castle, the forefront of the once most influential empire that has ever been seen. Within the same county exists the bustling, multicultural city of Slough in the east, the infamous Reading, home of Reading Festival, and the concrete jungle of Bracknell. Additionally, stunning, quaint temporal forests paint the surrounding landscape, with cosy pubs and small villages tucked within them. Welcome to the second episode of England Explained, the series where we explore every county within England and cover what makes them unique. This episode is Berkshire. Berkshire is situated in the south of England and borders the counties of Wiltshire to the west, Oxfordshire and Buckinghamshire to the north, Hampshire to the south, Surrey to the southeast, and a small part of Greater London to the east. The county has a population of around 950,000 people, with its largest settlement and the county town being that of Reading. A quick footnote before we begin. Not only is Berkshire extremely infamous within the UK, but it is also a county that I have extreme personal attachment to. I live in Surrey, and very close to the border with Berkshire, and I've spent a lot of time there, I have family there, and I've been to a lot of the locations within this county, unlike Bedfordshire, which was the first episode. So the experience that I have had, I will attempt to bring to this video. A vast amount of Berkshire's early history was recorded in the chronicles of Abingdon Abbey, which at the time was second only to the Crown in the extent of the number of its possessions. Throughout history, Berkshire has been primarily bordered to the north by the ancient boundary that is the infamous River Thames, which runs directly through numerous other counties such as Surrey and Greater London, to name a few. Despite this, now, only a small portion of the county's northern border follows the river. During the time of division within Anglo-Saxon England during the 6th and 8th centuries, within the 7 kingdoms of East Anglia, Essex, Kent, Mercia, Northumbria, Sussex and Wessex, also known as the Heptarchy, Berkshire formed part of the Kingdom of Wessex, and many relics dating back to the Saxon era have been discovered scattered around the county. The name Berkshire derives from the Old English name Berkshire, which in modern English translates to the Shire of the Boxwood. The Berkshire boxwood is a common boxwood plant that grows within the county. Despite Berkshire being famously linked to boxwood trees, it must be noted that the idea that they grow naturally within the county is a common misconception, with them being much more prevalent within the surrounding counties, such as Surrey. An important event within Berkshire's modern history can be seen within the city of Slough, as it split from Buckinghamshire to become part of the county in 1974 as part of a government restructuring under the Local Government Act of 1972, with the goal of modernising local governance. The county of Berkshire is divided into 6 separate districts. Going from east to west, these districts are Slough, Windsor and Maidenhead, Bracknell Forest, Wokingham, Reading, and Western Berkshire. The district of Western Berkshire is substantially more rural than the rest of the county and harbours a much lower population density as well. Some notable natural features within the district of Western Berkshire are the Berkshire Downs, a series of chalk uplands that form Berkshire's western spine, the River Kennet Valley, where the River Kennet, which is sourced from Wiltshire, flows through, creating a fertile valley surrounded by steep slopes, the North Wessex Downs. This area of Berkshire falls within the North Wessex Downs area of outstanding natural beauty. Another notable natural area within Berkshire is located within the Wokingham district and is named the Dinton Pastures. The area is located just outside of Reading and offers cafes, water activities, and additionally houses many bird species, with it acting as a major wildlife haven, with visitors even being able to observe the animals from bird hides. Within this section of the video, I will begin to explain some of the many settlements located within Berkshire, starting with the most recognisable and infamous, the iconic Windsor. The town of Windsor is located along the River Thames in the far east of Berkshire, not far from the borders with Buckinghamshire and Surrey. Obviously, it makes the most sense to begin talking about Windsor with the mention of Windsor Castle. Constructed by William the Conqueror in 1070, the castle's original intended purpose was to guard the western approach to London. However, in the modern era, the castle has obviously only been known for housing royalty and being a major pull for not only tourists but also diplomats from around the world. The town of Windsor plays an incredibly vital role in not just our culture as British people, but also in our international relations. Right here, on the 17th of September this year, me and hundreds of other people awaited the arrival of US President Donald Trump, who is invited to Windsor Castle for his second state visit. The castle easily allows the British government to bring a sense of history and class to political events, which I personally believe is important, especially when meeting with important nations such as the United States, our most crucial ally. The town of Windsor has a population of around 31,000 people, which is rather small in comparison to its cultural significance, being up there with urban behemoths like London. Some notable sites and attractions within the town are Legoland Windsor, Windsor Great Park with the infamous Long Walk, which is a 2.5-mile long stretch of path linking the castle to the Copper Horse, which is a statue depicting King George III and his horse. The walk was constructed by King Charles II between the years of 1682 and 1685 and has remained a major tourist attraction to this day. And lastly is St George's Chapel, a royal peculiar church, meaning that it falls under the direct jurisdiction of the monarch and was founded in the 14th century before being expanded in the 15th. It has belonged to the monarchy for an estimated 1,000 years. While the university town of Eton is largely considered to be a separate entity to Windsor, their close proximity to each other means that any visitors can observe them both within the same day if they choose to. Eton is located to the north of Windsor, on an island that splits the River Thames into two separate flows. It's a very small settlement, with it only being home to around 50,000 people. Its name derives from the Old English word for river town, with the land around the town once belonging to the manor of Queen Edith, the wife of Edward the Confessor. During the English Civil War, after the capture of Windsor Castle was overseen by the Parliamentarian forces, the Royalist army moved into Eton, occupying the college. Eton College itself is infamous around the UK, with it being well known for its charitable efforts in the 19th century, as it was known to have leased small plots of land to the village of Eton, leading to the construction of houses near to the bridge. Today, Eton is littered with cute cafes, pleasant natural walks by the river, and a decent amount of pubs and restaurants to accommodate the many tourists that walk through its streets every day. The next settlement on the list is Slough. The city of Slough is located in the far east of Berkshire, just a 10-minute drive from Windsor. The city has a population of around 143,000 people, with the wider borough of Slough having a combined population of around 158,000 people. Famously, Slough is one of the most culturally diverse cities in all of the UK, primarily due to the fact that it attracted both internal and external labourers in the 1920s, which greatly contributed to the area becoming a vital trading hub within the country. Slough has the most amount of companies HQs within the whole country, second only to London, and has a significantly low unemployment rate compared to the rest of the country as well, with it being at around 1.4% in 2017, compared to the UK average of 4.5% at the time. Slough Trading Estate is the largest industrial estate in single private ownership in all of Europe, with it being responsible for 17,000 jobs in 400 businesses. Companies such as BlackBerry, Burger King and Lego all have headquarters within the city. I can't talk about Slough without mentioning its utterly abysmal reputation within the country. Without sugarcoating it, almost everyone you ask within the entire country, especially in the south, will have nothing but negative things to say about the city. It has the highest crime rate in all of Berkshire and is infamous for being dirty, foul-smelling and dangerous. My personal experience of Slough is very minimal, as me and those that I know usually try to avoid it at all costs. However, even people I've met who live within the city have nothing good to say about it usually. In all fairness, it is difficult to talk about Slough without bias, especially when considering that the well-known poet John Benjamin wrote about the city in 1928, where he said, "Come friendly bombs and fall on Slough. It isn't fit for humans now. There isn't grass to graze a cow. Swarm over death." The fact that a poem of this nature exists really leaves nothing else to be said about the British public's perception and opinion on Slough. Another important settlement within Berkshire is the city of Bracknell. Bracknell is located in the east of Berkshire, like many of the other cities within the county, within the district of Bracknell Forest. It has a population of around 113,000 people and lies only 11 miles east of the county town of Reading. Whilst the town of Bracknell can be dated all the way back to the year 942 AD, it began to see significant growth within the 20th century, as it was declared a new town by the local government. While the expansion of Bracknell was originally intended to enable the town to hold 25,000 people, in the 1960s plans were made to make the city able to accommodate 45,000 people. During this time, Bracknell absorbed many of the towns surrounding it, leading to a very unique example of urban sprawl within the UK, as when observing the city from above it almost appears to be perfectly circular. The name Bracknell is believed to derive from the Old English term for nook of the land belonging to a man called Bracker. Today, the city is a bustling commercial area which has been gifted the nickname of Silicon Thames Valley, due to the fact that it is home to the headquarters of numerous major tech companies. A few examples of attractions in and around Bracknell are Swinley Forest, the Lookout Discovery Centre, somewhere that I spent a huge amount of my time in as a kid, and the well-known Coral Reef Water World. The next settlement we'll be taking a look at is Reading. Reading is the county town of Berkshire and is home to around 350,000 people, making it the most populous city within the county. Despite this, however, the city is technically not classed as a city by the standards of the monarchy, which is famously rumoured to be due to the fact that the late Queen Elizabeth II didn't like it. The city is a major commercial centre, especially in regards to technology and insurance companies. It additionally harbours many shopping centres such as the Broad Street Mall, the Oracle, and the pedestrianised area of Broad Street. The city of Reading dates back all the way to the 8th century, where it was an essential centre of trade. Additionally, it is home to the original site of Reading Abbey, one of the largest monasteries in all of medieval England, with it having numerous royal connections at the time. The city became the most populous settlement in Berkshire in the year 1525, with it additionally being the 10th largest settlement in the whole of England in terms of taxable wealth, going to show that Reading has remained the county's most dominant major city for 5 centuries. Of course, the city of Reading has become synonymous with the world-famous Reading Festival. The festival is the longest-running festival event in all of the UK, with many world-famous bands and artists having played there for over 5 whole decades. All kinds of music, from rock, hip-hop, heavy metal and pop, can all be found at the festival. Each year it sees an average of around 100,000 people attending, with this figure even rising to 105,000 in recent years. Some other notable points of interest within Reading include the Reading Museum, fit with galleries, and a 70-metre long replica of the Bayeux Tapestry, the Museum of English Rural Life, the formerly mentioned Reading Abbey ruins, the Museum of Berkshire Aviation, the Museum, which holds a collection of archaeological materials such as Greek and Roman pottery, Forbury Gardens, a municipal park in the town centre, the Thames Lido, an outdoor swimming pool that additionally offers a restaurant and bar, and the Thames River Cruise, where tourists can go on a scenic cruise along the River Thames from Caversham Pier. Within this section of the video, I will go over a few smaller settlements within Berkshire, as I strongly believe that they are worth mentioning. These settlements are Sandhurst, which is well known due to it being the home of the Royal Military Academy of Sandhurst, or RMAS, which is the British Army's main training centre for army officers. Ascot, world famous for the Royal Ascot, which attracts over 300,000 spectators, with these sometimes including members of the royal family. The town of Newbury in the west being known too for horse racing, as well as being nearby to the real-life Downton Abbey Castle. However, the castle, named Highclere Castle, is located within Hampshire, not Berkshire. Wokingham, well known for its low crime rate and being an important commuter town for those travelling into London. Thatcham, which is believed to be one of the oldest inhabited settlements in all of Britain. And Maidenhead, well known for it being a major Victorian resort town, as well as holding the statue of Sir Nicholas Windsor, who is known for helping save numerous Jewish children during the Second World War. The flag of Berkshire depicts the county's traditional symbol of the stag and oak, posted in front of a yellow background. The design, being associated with the county, dates all the way back to at least Michael Drayton's 1627 poem, Battle of Agincourt, where he describes the soldiers of Berkshire marching under, quote, a stag under an oak that stood. The stag itself has 12 point antlers, which is a defining characteristic of the royal stag, or red deer, with this being in reference to the county's title of the Royal County of Berkshire. The stag and oak together represent the forestry within the county, as well as the many deer herds that call it home. In regards to the culture of Berkshire, while there is not an official, widely spoken name for those from the county, a little-known nickname for them would be to call them Berks, which is nothing more than just a short abbreviation of the name Berkshire itself. In terms of food, the world-famous Eton mess was created within Berkshire, specifically within the village of Eton. The Eton mess is a quintessentially British dessert that consists of a mixture of strawberries, whipped cream and crushed meringue. Additionally, the Berkshire trout, which is often sold smoked and honey roasted. Cheeses, as the Bark and Bell and other local sheep's cheeses, are also commonly associated with the county. In conclusion, Berkshire is definitely a fascinating English county, with so much to offer. In my personal opinion, it would definitely sit within my top 10 favourites in the whole country, due to its natural beauty, stunning architecture and history, as well as its immense cultural significance to the English people. Before I end this video, I would just like to thank all who have liked and commented on my first video, covering Bedfordshire. I'm so happy to see that the general public are enjoying my content. Additionally, I have been suggested to cover a few other settlements within Bedfordshire in the comments in the last video. While I will likely not be making a follow-up video to that one in the near future, I am considering creating YouTube Shorts, where I spend a minute or so going through the history and significance of smaller settlements within a particular county. If there are any suggestions that you have for me to cover any lesser known towns or villages, please do let me know in the comments. One more thing to add. Some of the photographs and video footage used within the Eton section of this video were recorded by myself personally and my friend George, who himself has been putting a lot of time and effort into developing a video series where he goes into much further depth regarding the county of Berkshire. So I would strongly recommend that you check out his channel that I will link below. On that note, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the third episode of England Explained, which is Buckinghamshire. I will hopefully have this out a lot quicker than I had this episode out, as it should be smaller and less difficult to edit. See you then. Bye.